What's up, everyone? Today I got a video that isn't a Souls video. Today I just want to sit down and talk about Ark, the dinosaur game. I've put a shit ton of hours into Ark, and I believe it's my second most played game ever. I have played this game off and on for years. Ever since it came out on PlayStation, I've been playing it. And then eventually I got it on my computer and played it even more. What I'm basically trying to say is I really enjoy this game, even with all of its bugs and flaws, like a lot of flaws. So you can bet your ass I was pissing myself with excitement when I heard about Ark Ascended. It was what I was always wanting from Ark. They were going to take the game, make it look nicer, fix the bugs, and just make a more complete version of Ark, and it was going to be free. Well, turns out none of that was going to happen, and I was going to lose most of my confidence in Wildcard. This shit might be honestly one of the worst things I have ever seen in my life, and that's why I'm making this video, even though it's very late, because Ark Ascended came out like 2 fucking years ago, but better late than never, I guess. In my personal opinion, I feel that Ark has become a shell of what it once was. Just a lousy money snatching. And for me, Ark Ascended was the beginning of the end for Ark as a whole. Because as I said earlier, it could have been one of the best things to happen for Ark, but it wasn't. And, and it also didn't help that it continued to get delayed over and over again before they just randomly decided to have their very first gameplay trailer and then just drop the fucking game the same day. What the hell? Also, it was no longer free for the people who had already bought Ark, which it originally was going to. It was now $40 fucking. And I'm like, you know what? That's alright, I guess. I love Ark. I'll be willing to pay up the $40 to try out this new version of Ark. So, Christmas comes that year. I get a new graphics card for my computer so I can actually run the fucking game, because I was like, oh wow, those specs are pretty high. Turns out the reason the specs are so high is because it's just an unoptimized piece of shit. And the even bigger problem with it was that it didn't fix anything. It was basically just Ark with a new coat of paint. And fucking newsflash here, I doubt many people actually cared that much about how Ark looked. At least for me personally, I played the game for the actual gameplay and not how realistic the Brontosaurus's ballsack looked. My disappointment was immeasurable. They spit in my face with this piece of shit game. And since then, they have done nothing to fix this fucking game, to my knowledge. I haven't really touched it a lot, but I also haven't heard really anything about it changing and being better. I'm pretty sure it's still kind of got like a mixed review set on Steam. It's still a terribly unoptimized mess. Now, I don't have that much of a problem with regular Ark being really buggy and stuff, but I kind of expected the big shiny new Ark Ascended not be so fucking buggy. And it feels that ever since Ark Ascended has released, it's just been a lot of soulless junk that's been released. Especially with the stuff like the fucking AI trailer for one of their new maps, which at this point again isn't really new because I'm making this video like 17 centuries after all this shit happened. And that right there, the AI trailer, was really where I just gave up trying to support the game. And I just fucking threw in the towel, said fuck it, I'm going back to Ark. The original Ark. And personally, the better version of Ark. And I really believe that. And I believe that if you want to play Ark, just get the original version. It's cheaper and, in my opinion, more fun. And hell, to be honest, there might even be less bugs in the original version than in Ascended. It's also going to run a billion times better since it's not an unoptimized UE5 game. Instead of running at 9 frames in Ascended, you can probably get a solid 60 in just regular Ark. And that's kind of the root of my problem with Ark these days, and why I miss Old Ark. if your original version of the game is better than your hyped up remaster, then what in the actual fuck is the point of the remaster? Now, I will give credit where credit is due. They did add some handy stuff, especially with the building, but to be honest, you can just get as good of an experience if you just add a few mods into Ark. Trust me, that's what I did last time I had an Ark session, and I had more fun in that game than I ever did playing fucking Ascended. I guess if I could use one sentence to say how I feel about Ark now, it would be soulless. It doesn't feel like they care anymore. I remember back years ago when they were still releasing all kinds of new dinos and the dossiers or whatever the hell those videos were called, the spotlight videos for each dinosaur. And I'd watch the fuck out of those. Those were so awesome, and I was so hyped when the new ones would come out. And then there were the holiday special events and stuff, which I think they might still do, but again, it just doesn't feel the same to me. It just feels way more soulless, and I think that's because of everything else that has happened and surrounded, Ark as a whole. But I also can't really put my finger on why exactly it doesn't feel the same. Like, I know in my bones that new Ark does not feel the same as OG Ark, but I can't really exactly say why, and maybe it's just nostalgia, since the original Ark was such a big part of when I was younger. I remember watching all of Slipgator's Ark series all the time when I was younger. That was the main channel I would watch for Ark videos. So maybe all it is just nostalgia making me feel the way I do about the original Ark and not really liking Ascended. But again, I really think that Ark is better than Ascended, and I'm pretty sure I can say that confidently without any nostalgia bias, because I'm not the only one who thinks that. I know you can find Steam reviews on Ark and Ascended that say the same thing that I'm saying. A few more things I want to touch on are the fact that a lot of the new dinos for each map are behind a fucking paywall. You have to pay money for the fucking dino, which is insane. Which, again, just helps prove my point that it's all about the money for them now, because remember, Ascended was going to be fucking free for the people who owned Ark, but they fucking changed it. Which, again, wouldn't have been a problem either if the game was actually fucking good and not a piece of shit. Another problem I have with the game is that I don't think it actually looks that good. Fucking, I don't give a shit if it's made in Unreal Engine 5. It doesn't look that fucking good. It's a really bright game. Like, it's super bright, and I think the reason it's really bright is to kind of try to help make it look better, but I don't fucking like that. Like, it hurts my goddamn eyes just to be in the inventory because the inventory is so goddamn bright. And I know that, like, original Ark is also really bright. Everyone knows, the fucking sun in Ark just scorching your fucking corneas, but that's different. And that's different. Because, again, something with opening the inventory, like something simple like that, does not fucking burn my eyeballs when I do it. But it does in Ark Ascended because it's such a just bright game, if that makes any sense. And they also, of course, it being an Unreal Engine 5 game, they were trying to make it look more realistic, which is cool. A game like Ark would be, more immersive when everything looks more realistic, but they failed. Really fucking bad. Because when a game tries to look realistic and does it well, it is fucking stunning. Like Red Dead 2. Fucking nailed the realistic art style, looks fucking amazing. But when a game tries to look realistic but doesn't do a good job and kind of does it cheaply, you end up with Ark Ascended, an unoptimized game that doesn't even look that great. Like, what the hell is the point of Ascended even existing? Like, it's just such a rushed piece of shit. And it sucks because I love Ark, the game. I've, again, put many hours into it. I have many great memories from Ark. And it just really bums me out that a game series that I have, held in high regard for such a long time has kind of turned into a, just kind of a terrible franchise that's just kind of easy to laugh at with all the stupid things that they're making. And I think the last point that I want to touch on is the maps. It was always a really big thing when Ark would release their story map, Scorched Earth, Aberration, Extinction, and then Genesis Part 1 and 2. It was really big when those were coming out because they were spaced out, I'm pretty sure, relatively far apart from each other. So it was a pretty big thing when they were coming out. It was really cool, you know, because they clearly put a lot of time and effort into these maps and made them look fantastic and, you know, add on to the Ark story. And then, of course, there were also the free maps that were added over time, which were also really good. But now, and maybe this isn't the case, I haven't looked into it a lot, but it feels like every single time I'm on Steam, it's like there's a new Ark map. Or every time I scroll and see a new Ark video, it's a new Ark map. Like, they're just fucking cranking these things out. And I'm pretty sure a lot of them cost money. Or if they are free, the new content inside of them, you have to pay money for. And that's just crazy because you never had to do that with original Ark. I mean, you had to pay for the story maps, but even with the free maps, the new dinosaurs that came in, you didn't have to pay for them. What a crazy fucking concept, and how far Ark has fallen from its original self is very, very disappointing. But I think that's really all I wanted to talk about today. It is kind of a short video again, just kind of a rant that I've been wanting to go on for a while. So I do think this video is pretty random, but just wanted to get my feelings out about Ascended and Ark in general, even though, again, the whole Ark Ascended thing has all been said and done by now. It's been years since it came out. I think it was 2023. So yeah, I'm a little behind with it, but yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I miss the old Ark, and I miss how it used to feel. I miss when Ark was really just about taming dinosaurs and shit, you know? And maybe that's just me, and, you know, maybe I'm just clouded with nostalgia, but that's how I feel, man. I miss OG Ark, and that's all I've got to talk about today. See you later.